Today, we are going to talk about the Colossus of Rhodes from God of War 2. In Greek mythology, the Colossus of Rhodes was a statue depicting the sun god Helios and was one of the seven wonders of the world, made of bronze and reinforced with iron. The Colossus was said to be around 103 feet or 32 meters tall and was constructed to celebrate the successful defense of the city of Rhodes against an attack by a rival who besieged the city for a year with a large army and navy. The statue collapsed during an earthquake, and even though some parts of it were preserved, the Rhodians never rebuilt it again. Sometime after, an Arab force conquered Rhodes, and the statue was completely destroyed and the remains were sold. Kratos is struck by an eagle that takes some of his godly powers and transfers them to the Colossus of Rhodes. The statue awakens and starts pursuing Kratos in order to kill him because that is his destiny. Once Kratos shrinks, he blames Athena and ends up immediately fighting some of Rhodes' soldiers, while the Colossus is clearly stalking to annihilate Kratos. As you are slowly walking towards the end of the aisle, the Colossus is watching your every move before deciding to break through the building with his arm in hopes that he will catch Kratos. He massively fails and takes out some poor, fearful soldiers, and Kratos continues on to encounter him once again on the balcony. The Colossus is not interested in talking with Kratos and smashes the balcony with his hand. After that, Kratos uses the catapult to launch himself onto the Colossus' face, which leads to Kratos stabbing his eye with brutal force, causing an explosion that knocks Kratos away. As we are moving to our destination, the Colossus gains Ultra Instinct and realizes that Kratos is behind that specific wall and tries to step on him. Kratos kindly rejects his offer, lifts the golden statue up and sends him flying backwards. The Colossus is way beyond mad at this point and starts punching holes on the walls in order to hit Kratos. A few moments later, Kratos climbs up only to find a furious statue that starts growling at him and once more tries to attack him. Kratos had enough and decides to make the statue pay for his actions by performing many hits on him that will literally be scarred in the Colossus mind forever. You get it? Scarred? And guess what? The Colossus flips the script on the Spartan warrior and catches Kratos on the act. I mean, literally catches Kratos on the act and decides to squeeze him like he squeezes his golden irony palm. He, of course, stabs the Colossus' hand with brutal force, causing another explosion, and then he fucks off. For some reason, that leads to Colossus becoming a creepy stalker once more, and instead of killing Kratos, he decides to just break the bridge and watch Kratos running towards the other side. Finally, the Colossus took rid off his left hand because he does everything with his right one. They start fighting until the Colossus gets absolutely smoked by his own hand and the blade of Olympus. Kratos gets inside of him and starts destroying the pillars that give power to the Colossus. Once that's done, Kratos escapes the carnage that he created from the Colossus' mouth and starts flexing on the dude, calling him weak and that this was not worth his time. With little power left, the Colossus gives Kratos a taste of his own medicine and slams Kratos hard onto the floor. The damage was so serious that Kratos drops down now naked and starts vomiting blood. Unlike other gigantic boss fights, the Colossus of Rhodes has only unblockable attacks which may affect negatively some people's perspective, but in my experience, it has never bothered me at all because God of War 2 gives you a lot of ways to counter or dodge his attacks that we will be discussing in a few minutes. In the first phase, the Colossus has in total of 5 attacks, which all of them, as I previously stated, are unblockable. As you enter the balcony, the Colossus performs his one and only balcony attack, which will end up destroying the structure. To avoid this attack, you can either jump forward or use Poseidon's Rage. The second attack that the Colossus performs is his usual slam attack, depending where Kratos is located at the time. This one deals a lot of damage and leaves Kratos stunned for a short period of time. This attack is the hardest one to dodge, and if it hits you, it leaves you vulnerable to the soldiers of Rhodes' melee attacks. The perfect punish for this attack is to position yourself at the upper left part of the arena. The Colossus will try to attack you, but before he slams the ground, you have to jump to the other platform and hit him with a combo that ends with a spirit. But be careful, because when the Colossus slams the ground, it creates a small shockwave that can stun Kratos. There is one more attack that the Colossus performs when you are in the upper platform. The Colossus grabs and shakes the structure that you are standing, causing an earthquake, and Kratos gets hit. To avoid this attack, you can either jump down or use Poseidon's Rage. The last attack of the first phase is when the Colossus uses both of his hands to punch the ground, and that causes a huge shockwave that temporarily damages and stuns Kratos. To avoid this this attack, you can either jump to the upper platform, jump before the attack hits, or what I like to do is to position myself towards this third line and jump right before the Colossus hits the ground. While you are in the air, you can damage the Colossus arms with your air attacks. On the second phase, the Colossus attacks are much more varied and difficult to dodge. If you are standing close to his hands, he will try to smack you away. There are no good punishes to these attacks. You just have to be skillful and aware at the game because that timing window is very precise. To punish this attack, you can either dodge it or use PR at the last second. His most common attack is to slam the structure with both of his hands. That only leaves the choice to either use the grappling hook to escape to the other area or hug this particular corner and jump. He also smacks the structure with his left arm. This attack can be dodged with good positioning. After this attack, the Colossus has many exposed spots that you can punish. First of all is its head. As he leans in for the smack, his head and arm are exposed to Kratos' attacks. Onto the third and final phase. In here, the Colossus has removed his arm and can now shoot electricity from his palm. He has a lot of attacks. Firstly, as you enter the arena, he would try to either hit the floor with electricity or slam his hand to create a giant shockwave. Both of these attacks are unblockable and require you to position yourself to avoid them. Once you get close to him, he will use his 3-attack combo that has to be dodged. The timing window is very precise and difficult, but with more practice, you will adjust. The last attack is his beam attack. Once you have obtained the Blade of Olympus and damaged the Colossus, he will try to keep you away with blue electric beam. Now this attack is actually blockable, so all you have to do is to block it. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one.